Browns' Travis Hunter trade has taken a Quinshon Judkins-sized twist. The Cleveland Browns took a calculated risk during the 2025 NFL Draft. They held the number 2 pick, the one that almost certainly was going to land on Travis Hunter, the two-way Heisman winner from Colorado. But the Browns traded that pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags may have overpaid, but they also got Hunter. It looked like a case of Cleveland passing on a generational talent, and they made it feel even less exciting on draft night by taking a defensive tackle, Mason Graham, at number 5. But Graham wasn't the whole return, of course. The Browns also got the Jags' 2026 first-round pick, and they got the 36th pick in 2025, which they used to take Quinshon Judkins. Graham has played very well in the early going, and after Judkins signed late following off-season legal trouble, he has hit the ground running since his Week 2 debut. Despite playing one fewer week than the other rookies, Judkins leads his draft class in rushing yards. He scored the game-tying touchdown from close range on Sunday in an upset win of the Packers. Meanwhile, Hunter has yet to make much offensive impact, although he had some great cornerback reps against the Texans in Week 3. The reality here is this: if the Browns got 3 high-quality players for the price of 1, it'll look like a trade win. Graham looks as advertised. So does Judkins. If Cleveland can nail that first-rounder from Jacksonville next year, or use it with their own to trade up for a QB, it'll even out with Hunter no matter how good he becomes. Yes, of course, it would have been fun to have Hunter, but the Browns may have wound up better off. The NFL has always thrived on shockwaves, blockbuster trades, draft surprises, and storylines that feel closer to soap operas than Sunday football. But what's brewing in Cleveland right now might be one of the strangest, most fascinating twists in recent memory. The Cleveland Browns' pursuit of Travis Hunter, the two-way phenom out of Colorado, was already enough to get fans talking. Now, it's taken a Quinshon Judkins-sized twist, and nobody can quite believe what they're seeing. The original dream, Hunter in brown and orange. When rumors first surfaced that the Browns were looking to make a splash move for Travis Hunter, jaws dropped across the league. A cornerback-receiver hybrid with generational upside, Hunter has been marketed as football's answer to Bo Jackson. A man who doesn't just bend positional norms but breaks them outright. Imagine Deshaun Watson throwing to him one series, and then Hunter locking down Jamar Chase the next. The thought alone was intoxicating. Cleveland, still chasing consistency on offense and firepower in the secondary, seemed the perfect landing spot. The trade whispers grew louder, the fan hype spread faster, and then suddenly, everything swerved. Enter Quinshon Judkins. Judkins, the bruising, electrifying running back who built his name at Ole Miss before transferring to Ohio State, had long been on NFL scouts' radars. He's a power runner with finesse in the open field, capable of carrying an offense on his back. Yet somehow, his name became entangled in the Hunter trade saga. Reports now suggest that the Browns' front office isn't just targeting Hunter. They're angling for a package deal that could rope in Judkins, or at the very least, recalibrate the entire strategy around him. What does a running back have to do with a two-way star like Hunter? Well, that's where things get creative. The Browns gamble. Cleveland's brass has made one thing clear. They're tired of playing it safe. With Nick Chubb's health an ongoing concern and the offense sputtering without a consistent ground game, adding Judkins suddenly looks like more than a luxury. It looks like a necessity. But in tying Judkins to the Hunter pursuit, the Browns are signaling something bolder. This isn't about one player. It's about reimagining their entire identity. A Hunter Judkins infusion would make Cleveland one of the most unpredictable, explosive teams in the NFL. Picture a lineup where Travis Hunter plays 50 snaps at corner, then slides into the slot for 8 to 10 offensive plays. Quinshon Judkins pounds defenses between the tackles, forcing them into the box. Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, and Hunter stretch the field for Watson. On defense, Hunter shadows elite receivers while Myles Garrett terrorizes quarterbacks. That's not a roster, it's chaos weaponized. The college connection. Some analysts argue the Judkins twist was inevitable. The Browns' scouting department has been zeroing in on Big Ten and SEC standouts, and Judkins, after his Ohio State stint, has local appeal that fans in Cleveland crave. Pairing him with Hunter, the most hyped prospect since Deion Sanders, creates a college football to NFL pipeline fantasy come true. But it also raises questions. Do the Browns have the draft capital to pull off both moves? Would another team swoop in to snatch Judkins if Cleveland tries to get cute? And perhaps most importantly, Does tying Judkins to Hunter complicate what was already a high-stakes gamble? The fans' reactions. Cleveland fans have lived through decades of heartbreak, so skepticism comes naturally. But even the most cynical dog-pound regulars admit, this storyline feels different. On Twitter, one fan wrote, "Hunter and Judkins? Are we trying to build the Avengers in Cleveland? Somebody pinch me." Another chimed in, "We don't even have our QB situation figured out, and we're out here collecting superheroes." The split is real, hope against hesitation. But that's what makes it fun. The Judkins-sized complication. Here's where the twist truly takes shape. According to insiders, Hunter's trade value has ballooned so dramatically that no team can realistically acquire him without adding layers. Draft picks, veteran players, maybe even cash incentives, it's all on the table. For Cleveland, tossing Judkins into the equation is both a bargaining chip and a distraction. Some rivals see it as a smokescreen. Maybe the Browns don't really want Hunter at all. Maybe Judkins is the actual target, and Hunter's name is the bright light meant to blind everyone else. If so, it's a clever ploy, though risky, considering how vocal the front office has been about landing a generational star. A league on alert. General managers around the NFL are watching with hawk-like attention. If Cleveland succeeds, it could set a precedent for how teams approach draft capital, college standouts, and two-way talents. If they fail, it could cripple their franchise for years. Stephen A. Smith, never one to shy away from theatrics, already weighed in. The Browns are playing with fire. Hunter is a bad man, Judkins is a bad man, but this is the Cleveland Browns we're talking about. Do we trust them not to mess it up? It's harsh, but it's fair. The what-ifs. What if Cleveland actually pulls this off? Imagine opening day at First Energy Stadium. Hunter lines up wide on the first snap, jukes a defender, and streaks for a 70-yard touchdown.